Like, I don't know. If I get off stage,
everybody's
if I get off stage and Kyle Grooms, who's like a local Miami comic, but who's like worked with Dave Chappelle and like been on the, like, I'd be like,
he was on Chappelle's show. And
he was on the Chappelle show. So he,
Right.
if he was like, damn, that was a good set, I'd be like, ooh, oh shit, Kyle Grooms fucking. But if fucking Chris was like good set, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my fucking face, you bitch.
Chris, what about you?
No, there's never been 10 people lined up to tell me I did a good job, so I take it where I can get it.
Yeah, but the audience, dude, because
yeah,
you're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, you know. So like, there's comics who, let's say, might not like, I don't know, my style, but if I killed, you can't deny that.
That's true. I'm fine if comics tell me good set. I don't want to hear comics tell me anything about my jokes.
Yeah, I don't
unless
really,
it's like good joke,
right? Or unless it's like, I don't know, if Chris gave me a tidbit or something, I don't know, I would like, because he's my best friend. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't really like it when comics are like, you know what you should do, you know?
Right.
This is crazy because I don't know where to look. I'm like, there's so many stickers on this table. There's posters, the mural. Oh. We're doing the pre-show stretches.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Yes, those are the pre-show stretches.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing?
Great.
It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro, and you know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's midnight in Miami, and we are also very ecstatic to have another journey, another story, a pair of artists today that are joining us. But before we get to introducing the magnificent talents that are before us, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we give a shout out, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, behind the cameras. You know what I'm talking about? There's a man. Let's say you got a date night and you got to get right for said date night. Who you going to hit up, ladies and gentlemen? You're going to hit up Diego, Miami Barber. You know what I'm talking about? And that man is going to get you right, get your haircut looking beautiful, looking pristine, looking crispy. You know what I'm talking about? Diego, what do you got for the people?
Come get a haircut.
Well, there you go. You know, as a man of very few words, you know what I'm talking about. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an episode of colossal proportions in store for you today.
That's a fat joke, Chris.
Oh.
Yeah. Lots of weight.
All right,
That's
starting off on the wrong foot.
My bad. Ladies and gentlemen, the people that we have before us, they are 2/3 of Scheme Supreme. Ladies and gentlemen, these two men before me are comedians. They're comics. These people, they make you laugh for a living. You're having a rough day, boom, you see them, you feel better. You know, and that's comedians.
It depends on
the setting.
It depends on the time of night, too.
Right.
You run into Chris in the middle of a park.
Well, shit gets dicey in the middle of a park, you know, in the middle of a night. But ladies and gentlemen, on our set today, for the first time ever, we have 2/3 of Scheme Supreme. Ladies and gentlemen, Sed and Chris on the set today. What's going on, guys?
That was fantastic energy, dude.
I tried.
I already feel better, dude.
So much energy and so much enunciation.
Yeah, that was a lot of energy. It was like black pastor levels.
Oh my god! And you know what? That's my goal.
Like, coming today,
yeah.
On the podcast, it's a Scheme Supreme.
I'll probably reincarnate as a black pastor, and I'm looking forward to it. You know,
that's cool.
That is cool. What would you reincarnate as?
Chris.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Hell yeah, dude.
Chris, what would you?
But I'm me.
No, but I would want to come back and then have me build a bus for me.
That's what you want? It's like, I have to come back as you?
Yeah, you come back as me, and then you can see how hard I work, Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sed and Chris are 2/3 of Scheme Supreme. They've actually, why don't you tell us what Scheme Supreme is? What are you guys currently working on, and how did it get started? Chris?
Like he said, we are comedians. We do stand up in Miami together, and Scheme Supreme is us. We are currently building a school bus and turning it into a tiny house.
That's crazy. It's blind, but it sounds like he's reading that
Right.
Like as if like there's a gun to his head. There's like a gun to his head off screen. He's like, everything is fine. I'm safe, Mom.
I was kind of
These
hoping.
are the facts, dude.
These are the facts. Chris likes to gift you with bullet points, dude. We're comics, you know
PowerPoint,
that.
baby, PowerPoint.
But yeah, dude. So we met doing comedy here in Miami, and then we realized that the three of us were boys.
Right.
That we had each other's backs. Which is big.
Oh yeah, especially in Miami, La Salsera.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Everybody's like, it's like you don't know who to trust, But we got each other's back, so we concocted a little plan. We kind of like, came together and tossed ideas back and forth.
And salads.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah, that was my favorite day.
Okay, that's important. Team bonding activities,
Yeah, dude. Oh, imagine if offices had like a fucking salad toss. Like,
God.
I had an office that like would give us like massages, but like imagine if like you had an office give you like a rub and tug.
Oh my God, like pretzel day.
I would love coming to work, dude.
Oh my
I would
God.
look forward to coming to work.
Oh my God.
Salad toss Friday is better than fucking like an IPA cooler.
Yeah. That's like if I had the option between kegerator or like rub and tug Fridays, give it to me, rub and tug.
Bro, you can keep your paid time off, bro.
Yeah,
I'll come to work.
Yeah, dude, I'll trade in paid time off, dude. I'll put in extra hours,
Bro,
Yeah, but it depends, dude. If it's just Frank, like that's his job on Friday. He's
Right.
like, he volunteered for it. You're
Right.
It's like Frank and
He's like, why don't you guys show up to Rub and Tug Fridays?
it's like Frank and the fat secretary Marisol.
Fucking Marisol,
Yeah,
dude.
she's like, it's time for the Robin Talk. It's time for Robin Talk Friday. And I was like, fuck.
How
She
did
never forgets, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, she never
3:30.
forgets.
Yeah, dude.
Punctual lady, punctual woman. How did the name Scheme Supreme come to be?
So I don't know. We were thinking about different like names, and we were just like, dude, honestly, we get really fucking high and just like come up with stupid shit.
Hell yeah.
So like David and I met first when we were doing comedy, right? And like we were, as soon as we started doing comedy, we were like, okay, we're pretty good. Like I'd rather suck in New York than suck here, or like I'd rather suck in LA than suck here. Like let's go, let's make a move somewhere.
That says everyone. Yeah, that's everyone.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. We can continue to practice here in Miami, but we're not gonna get anywhere here. Let's go to where it's at.
Well, why do you guys feel that Miami is not a comedy powerhouse?
Let's go. Let's get into the inner workings of the Miami
Yeah.
of the Miami comedy politics.
There's
Let's do
so
it.
much better things to do in Miami
Yeah.
than go to a comedy show.
It's drugs.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Yes, but
You're
I don't
not-
know. It just doesn't seem like there's some people who want it, But even like there's an improv here, and like famous comics go to the improv, and it'll like sell out. But like when you talk to some people, you're like, yeah, that guy was here like a weekend ago. They're like, really? It's like they don't really know, and they don't really care.
They don't have a
They're not
notion.
seeking it out.
Right.
It's like it's cool. We have a little scene, and it's been. Before the pandemic, it was pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was like we had shows every single night. You can do multiple shows a night. I've done 3 shows in the same night, by going to different spots. So that's kind of cool. But, like, the pandemic then also kind of, like, brought it back to, like, a smaller scene now.
But crowds have been cool.
Crowds are cool, but, it just, in terms of, like, if you want to, in the short term, right? In the short term, if you want to, like, make a name for yourself, be in front of people who are going to see you and then be like, oh, this guy's got something. And that opinion matters. Like it might get you an opportunity, or it might get you in a podcast opportunity, or any sort of opportunity, a manager, an agent.
Yeah, that's by the way, that's how high we set our stance. It's like, yeah, maybe they'll ask us to do their podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But
Like,
that'll be huge.
No, that's huge.
That's
No, it
huge.
is.
It's like there's not like just 2 or 3 late night shows anymore. There's like a million of them, you know what I mean? And all of them have a substantial audience. So,
Right.
because we're not watching TV, right? We're like on our phones, and we could podcast and YouTube and all of that. We have all this found time that we need to fill with content. So it's like you can't even run out of, like, you can have, like, it's not like you have to watch one TV show or like one podcast. You can listen to like
Right.
An infinite amount of podcast. You have all the time in the world to just listen to podcasts while you do other stuff.
Why do you guys feel that one of the, I guess, stigmas down here in the comedy scene is that audiences suck?
Because they do.
Because they do.
They do.
Right.
What are you talking about?
It's rowdy. You know what I mean? Like people come, because
because comedians, they're notoriously for saying, hey, listen, Miami.
Oh yeah. Like we're gonna make a compilation. Like because like it's like every single comic that talks about it, Miami is the worst city for comedy.
Yeah.
You know.
And why the fuck is that?
Well, it's because like everyone's like
on coke.
Well, that and
coke is not conducive to sitting down and shutting up.
Yeah, they want to like talk about themselves. They don't care about you on stage.
They want to get laid. They met a Tinder date.
They're not. The game is on in the background.
Right. Yeah. The Marlins are playing.
The Heat, baby. The Heat.
The Heat are in the playoffs, and they don't want to turn the TV off because that's the only reason why people are in the bar. And we're there, but we're just bothering people. But I don't know. People like it. Like there is comedy, and people do like it. Like. There is a potential, especially if like, LA stays shut down and people keep moving here.
We've been seeing so many people like when at shows now, like it's like, where are you from? And they're like, oh, we're from New York.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do over there.
Well, we're from Jersey. We just moved down. So it's like so many people who are now in that nightlife here in Miami are like from somewhere else. So it can continue to grow in Miami because we're open.
Right.
But in terms of like industry infrastructure, you got to go where that is,
right?
If you want something, if you want to grow, you want like I don't know, I think, or like you can like let's say you get some crazy guest here, you know what I mean? Like it could pop off and you can start your own little thing, but if I want someone, especially a comedian, because with comics you want another comedian to be like, oh, this guy's funny. You want to open? I have a showcase. Do you want to come to my showcase? You need to be where those people are. And for us, those people aren't in Miami.
Do you guys value the opinion of other comedians more than you do the audience? Like if you were saying, for example, that a comic comes up to you and, hey, you had a killer set, as opposed to fucking 10 people outside that are fucking...
No, absolutely not. I don't audience.
Oh, yeah?
All day. Audience all day, dude.
What about you, Chris?
I don't know. Like if I had a comic that I respected that was there, maybe, but like... like a comic.
Damn, no, drop it. You're about to say you don't respect anybody in Miami. Yeah. Dude, no, drop that shit.
Yeah,
dude.
dog.
Name drop.
That's
Come
only
after
said.
me,
That's
dude.
only said thoughts.
A comic that like has done something of
relevancy.
Of relevancy, of something noteworthy. Like, I don't know. If I get off stage,
everybody's
if I get off stage and Kyle Grooms, who's like a local Miami comic, but who's like worked with Dave Chappelle and like been on the, like, I'd be like,
he was on the Chappelle show. And
he was on the Chappelle show. So he, if he was like, damn, that was a good set, I'd be like, oh shit, Kyle Grooms fucking. But if fucking Chris was like good set, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my fucking face, you bitch.
Chris, what about you?
No, there's never been 10 people lined up to tell me I did a good job, so I take it where I can get it.
Yeah, but the audience, dude, because
you're
not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, So like, there's comics who, let's say, might not like, I don't know, my style. But if I killed, you can't deny that.
That's true. I'm fine if comics tell me good set. I don't want to hear comics tell me anything about my jokes.
Yeah, I don't
unless it's like good joke.
Right, or unless it's like, I don't know, if Chris gave me a tidbit or something, I don't know. I would like, because he's my best friend. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't really like it when comics are like, you know what you should do,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'll listen to it. I'm not like, no, stop.
No. Like,
stop it right now. I'll listen to it, but I don't ever.
It's not really like the like. Oh, you know what? I just had a thought for that one. It's more of like, you know what you should say.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes he'll say something and I'll be like, oh, like you could be like that or something, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, and then he'll say it or he won't.
That like if somebody says something, I'd be like, dude, that's that's super funny. You should totally do that on stage. Like that's the best way to do it. It's like if I say something funny to Chris and then he's like, that's funny. Like you should say that. Then that I take higher. We hold that into higher than if a regular person was like, that's funny. You should do that, because people say the dumbest things should be skit. Like, and that's what they call them. They call them skits. They go, that you should use that on your skit on stage.
Yeah. Or like, what you should use on your skit on stage.
Yeah.
But if like, because that's how I figure out what I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm just going to be like joking around with people. And then something gets like a laugh, then I'm like, you know, okay.
That's
noteworthy.
Right. Are you guys actively, because I've seen comedians and comics take papers on stage. What are they, what's that for?
No papers.
Yeah, yo, Chris goes up acapella.
Never
Acapella.
a paper.
Oh shit, some 8 Mile shit over here.
Chris goes up with an 8 divider notebook. But then he just rips it in half, dude. And just goes, what, dude? It's all in here.
Yeah, it's on here.
I beat this guy I beat Sed at a roast battle one time. Yeah. Basically just because he took a paper on stage and I didn't.
No, he destroyed me,
it's
dude.
like cannabis.
He got me with the first joke, and it was that's it. It was downhill from there.
Jeez.
It was a great joke, Chris. You want to say the joke?
I said that Seb's on a lot of drugs. He's on everything but shows. It was a good joke. There was a lot of comics there, so that like, you know.
Also, it's hard to. No one has roasted Chris successfully, dude.
No, I've lost. Oriel beat me twice, dude.
Oriel,
yeah.
But
Oriel fucking called me a fucking jazz snowman and murdered.
That's Oriel's a great roaster.
Yeah, like,
I'm not a good roaster. That's the thing I've learned, like through doing like a few roasts.
Would you be able to go to the comedy, Trump roast of Trump, shit like that?
No, I mean, I don't know if someone else helped me write, but like I'm not that good at like writing roast material, you know.
What are your 2 cents on hecklers? Have you guys had to deal with them? What's the relationship like with them?
We definitely had hecklers.
Yeah,
we had the best heckler story I have is we had I was doing a joke on stage where I'm like, I'm single, obviously. And this girl who was mad at some other shit I said was like, yeah, obviously. And before I even had a chance to respond, a dude in the back went, don't worry, bro, she's fucking fat. Fucking crushed.
Oh my God.
Crushed. The girl was just like, who said that? Yeah. Where do we go fight him? And then we smoked a joint and bought that guy a beer after.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, dude. Well, you definitely like that's it. That's like that's your headline. That's your That's the punchline. That's your final joke at that point. But I've had a few like hecklers. I don't really have like a heckle story because I don't know. Like I think I incorporate like the crowd. You know, like I'll like do a little bit of back and forth. But you always get someone in Miami. It's just funny, man, because sometimes we see people from like LA, we see people from Chicago, and they come to Miami, and a Miami crowd just like
swallows them up.
It's like a big wave, and it's like a surfer who was just not ready. They were like surfing little waves,
right.
And they're like, "Oh my God, people here are so rude," and you're like, "I guess." And then this guy goes up, or I go up, and just destroy the place, because it's like I don't know. It's at a certain energy, and you have to. Whenever you're with a crowd, you have to meet them at their energy.
Miami always has "fuck you" energy.
They're not supportive, and when you go in, and they're already like,
are they actively against you?
Yeah, they're like, all right, go ahead, like.
Entertain
you think
us.
you're funny?
Okay.
Yeah, dance
They're like,
for me,
bro,
monkey.
I know the bouncer at Space, bro. All right, dude, you're gonna have to really step it up.
I'm a promoter. So.
They're all producers, promoters, dude. They're all like,
yeah, bro. Okay, I know the fucking bartender.
They're producers and promoters.
I know the bartender at Mint, so you're gonna have to fucking step up your game to impress me. And I'm like, God. All right, bro. But also, everybody in Miami, like, dude, like, it's the funniest thing. Sometimes I go to the improv to like watch a comedian. And you'll see a dude in like the comedian says a joke and it kills. And then like sometimes you'll hit a joke and then you'll hit like a lot of jokes like back to back and you'll just keep hitting that. And a guy in the audience will just be like and I'm like, you think you're like the conductor here? You think like the comedian needs you? Because the dude was like, yeah. He was like doing all this shit. And I was like, that dude thinks that he's the main person here.
It's the same guys like cheering on like people sliding into first base and they're like, go, go, go. Yeah, you're not.
So like, I don't know because I've only done comedy in Miami. So I don't know. It's like formed the way I do comedy. I have to like make the audience, especially like as a whole, but also as individuals, think that like, I don't know, that, you're the main character.
Right.
Or this is you're like,
no, you're good.
Well, that's pretty the opposite.
Chris, go in towards Han. Yeah, like, no. Turn the, like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
You good.
Yeah. He's like a little piece of furniture. You gotta just like.
I do that literally with every single one of my guests. Like,
yeah, I saw you do it with Marco.
Yeah, I was like,
when he was like, he kept like sneaking off.
I was like, get over here.
It's because these chairs are so glidey, dude.
Right. It's like an ice rink.
What you just said is the opposite of how I think of crowds mostly. You know?
Oh yeah, because you have to do a different thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like you have to like, I don't know, what do you do?
What's your process like?
Well, like, no, I just mean like, cause I'm already like, you know, people are already looking at me.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like,
he gets the attention really fucking instantly.
Like when he walks in the room?
Yeah, because it's like a spectacle. Like, you know, it's like someone is walking him, like usually I'm or someone else is walking him on.
Right.
And it's like you see a blind dude with a stick. It's like he's a very rare thing. Like, people don't really see a lot of blind people.
Do people think it's a bit?
Oh, fucking constantly.
Oh yeah?
Fucking constantly. Dude.
Stop lying to me. Stop lying.
Shit, I think it's a bit sometimes, dude. Sometimes I'll move my hand and I see him like flinch, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is like a Ray Charles situation. Bro, I think he's hiding.
He's just a method actor, bro. Yeah. He's just in character right now.
It's just a really good bit. Because there's a guy that we know who does like a Southern character. Okay. You know? He's Joe Bob, but he that's not his name. He's like a real human being, but he's just always in character now. You know what I mean? Like he found something that works.
He lives
and
in
he
character.
just fucking does it now. I mean, it's cool because it does work.
It works.
It kills. You know, his whatever his Southern guy character, his Oklahoma character, but it's just weird because like I know the other guy, and I'm like, damn, I haven't seen that motherfucker in a minute. You know, like it's just been this new guy for a while.
Do you guys as comics think that it's a little bit gimmicky to do something like that, to have a character that you know?
Nah, do whatever. I do a little bit of a fucking character. Like,
I mean, we're all doing a character of ourselves anyway.
You know,
yeah,
so
sure.
you know, like get laughs. I don't know, like. Say something weird, or I don't know. Like it's all up to whoever wants to.
It's the artist, yeah.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna tell
you're getting on stage
jokes,
and bombing sucks. So I don't think you want to just bomb. So get some laughs.
So is there such a thing as like a cheap laugh? Like is there a certain way of comics that, excuse me, their process that's maybe looked down upon by other comics?
Stealing. You know?
Yeah, of course.
If you steal or like if you do what?
No, you're good.
If you steal or if you do like a street joke, or if you do like we knew there was a guy who would come to tourists who would do like
he did a Chappelle bit.
Yeah, like he would
did
just
a full Chappelle
act like a full on Chappelle bit.
He would like baby on a corner selling crack. Like
oh my
Chappelle
god,
bit, you know.
And no one called him out.
No. But a comic. Yeah.
But then I think he just said that he didn't care. Like I don't know, he was kind of treating it like comedy karaoke. Like he would just go and do other people's.
So you wouldn't really, I guess, view him as a legitimate comic, or
no?
There's no way he's getting spots with that.
Right? Like
okay, gotcha.
Right, he was showing up to like an open mic that was like a late night.
I think he did the main show.
Taurus?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, but it was Taurus.
But still, it's
Taurus was like a chaotic place. Like anyone can, it's like. It was a cool spot. It's one of my favorite spots. It's not back yet, or I don't know if it'll come back, but like
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
The show, the bar's back, but I don't know if the show's ever going to come back. But it was chaotic. Like you could just, let's say you went onto the open mic and you did all right, and you met the host, he could put you on the main show the next time. Like it wasn't like there was any
or
order.
if you just DM'd him, I was like, hey, can I do the thing?
But I don't know. Like. It's just like there might be styles of comedy that I don't necessarily like, but if they crush in front of a crowd, then that's pretty undeniable,
Right.
And crowds know if you're like stealing a joke, or if something's been said already, or if that's not that interesting of a take. Like I don't know. It's every time you go up on stage, you're tested, and if you make them laugh, then you did a good job. I don't know.
What about maybe unspoken rules between comics that people don't talk about? You were booked. But also I've also heard maybe going over. You're booked for 10 minutes. You're going an hour and a half.
We go over all the time. I mean, I don't know. The thing is,
but are you bumping someone else behind you? How does that?
Not really. I mean, you might be like. It depends on the show. Like. If we're at a show where like our friend is the host and the schedule is very like loose and like there you go. So if I don't know, if it's not that big of a deal, we've all of us have fucking ran the light on each other.
I genuinely can't as much because like they have to like yell at me that I have a minute left.
Yeah, they gotta be like.
It would be very disrespectful if I was like, "Yeah, I got you," and then just did 6 more minutes.
Yeah, right. But I have 100%.
But I have just off not hearing.
But if I was doing a show like at a professional, like let's say at the Improv, or like if I was at a different place, if I was like being paid, no, I would be as professional as possible. But you know,
would you if you were ever asked for a performance to censor yourselves, would you or no?
I've turned down shit before because I was like, I don't want to really be clean. But then I've also had fun at clean shows.
Yeah, I've been to shows where they told me to like clean it up, and I just like avoided the cursed words.
But is it difficult mid performance?
No, I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like if they told me, hey, you're gonna have to perform for a church, I'd be like, look, I don't think that they're gonna like what the fuck I'm gonna do. You know, like let's be realistic here. But if it like I performed in venues that were like mostly older people or like older adults, you know, or like in like Miami Springs, there was like this what was it, the place, Uncle whatever, or I don't remember. There was like
Tom's,
something like that. The sports bar. There was like a back room, and it was like a lot of older people, you know. So I was like, I didn't like, I just avoided the actual curse words, you know. And then I did good, you know. They liked me, and yeah, my stuff was still like dirty, but I just did it like in a goofier way, so it was like silly, and so I guess it kind of like toned down the dirtiness. Right. And as long as I didn't be like, yeah, and I was fucking this bitch, like, you know, as long as I didn't do that, and I was like, yeah, so I was with my girl, and you know, if I
rephrased it a little bit.
I didn't change my subject matter because the subject matter is funny. Everyone has sex, you know what I mean? Like, so. Everyone has sex, and a lot of people don't know what to say when they're having sex. That's a lot. That's like a lot of what I talk about, you know. So, like dirty talking. So, you know, they connected with it, you know, and it was dirty. But they told me to like keep it clean, you know.
Chris, is it difficult for you to, you know, choose the words at the right time? If you're on the spot and there's a fuck coming out, or can you control it?
It happens, dude. Like I'll let it, like, you know, like it definitely. It definitely happens, but it's it's not that bad. Like I've had people tell me like not to do a joke, but I've also like turned down stuff that I was like I didn't think I would be right for, you know.
Well, that's good though.
Like I was like, I don't think that's
a good idea. Do a lot of like hell gigs because you just want to say yes to like every single thing.
Define a hell gig.
Oh my God.
But I'd rather do a hell gig than like a charity show.
Right.
For real?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the charity show is the ultimate hell gig.
Well, it depends like the venue and the you know, everything. But if it's like, oh, you're gonna be performing to like a bunch of, you know, children, it's like, yeah, this is a bad idea. Like, you know, I've performed in front of like kids though. Like there were kids at the show at the Umbrella. There was like a 9-year-old who like walked by me and like laughed.
Tough crowd. Is it a tough crowd or?
No, he like laughed at, like I was doing a very dirty joke, and like he like walked. The bathroom was like you have to pass by the stage, and I said like I forgot what joke. I was listening to the recording the other day, but it was like a very dirty joke, and the 9-year-old was just like hell yeah, and I was just like oh fuck.
Yeah, I had a host one time was like, oh man, Chris, that was a very dirty set, and there was a kid in the back, and I was like, well, that kid is very well behaved. Yeah, because I had no idea he was there.
But I've very few times have been told like you have to do a clean set, and like the few times I've been told that, I just didn't curse. Okay, but I kept the joke exactly. The joke was still like dirty because it was about dirty topics, but I just didn't curse.
You guys briefly mentioned the rudeness of some of the Miami audiences.
You call it rudeness, I call it live.
Oh, you know? There you go.
I call it energy.
I call it energy. Beautiful. Do you guys ever get offended when, boom, you're performing, you're putting your, you know, heart, sweat, and tears into this performance, and some being on Tinder or swiping, they're on their phone, they're not.
I try not to pay attention.
That's your fault, right? You know,
right, like exactly. That's how we try to think of it. Like, like if you were funny, like if you were doing great, he would be looking at you. You know.
Ooh, so you kind of blame that on yourself?
Dude, I blame everything on myself. Dude. I hate myself, dude. I just try to like. It's better for me to think that I had like, cause dude, we've seen it, dude. We've seen at tourists late at night. Everybody's eating a dick. Everybody's bombing. Boom, 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 boom. And then there's one guy, like Aaron Berg, who is a New York comic. He's like a legit New York comic.
Oh, my God.
He'll come into tourists at late at night. everyone's eating a dick. I ate, Chris ate, everyone's eating a dick.
Yeah.
And then he'll come in, and the place will be destroyed. Like, destroyed.
Murdered harder than I've ever.
Murdered harder than
and it's not like they were there for him. No, it wasn't on the like.
He wasn't on the list. He just showed up.
It wasn't an event.
Yeah, I heard.
He just showed up.
Chappelle does that sometimes too.
So he'll show up like there at like randomly and blow the whole place down. And it's like he's very talented. So it's like, okay, it's possible. Like I try to think like, yeah, if Chappelle was in here, would he be on his phone? Nah. So I just need to be funnier.
Also, getting offended is like not the right move. Yeah. Like when you first start, like I would just, if I heard people talking in front of me, I would just call them a cunt or something. Yeah. And it's like that's not the right
I remember move. I was there for one of those. I remember. Yeah. Well, I wasn't the cunt, but I remember,
But
like that's not the right, that's not the right way.
No, but you get into it now a little bit more with like the audience. You do a little bit more like crowd working with the audience.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how's crowd work down here? I feel like it'd be easier just because you have a lot.
Want.
Yeah?
They want if you're like one of those comics that can improvise the whole thing and just do crowd work. Yeah, that's like the best because again, it's like they're the main character. They're the main idea. They're like, oh, this is about me. Like That's how I feel. How people think. And then if you start doing kind of like exposition, like you start trying to like tell a story about yourself, or
right.
You know what I mean? Then they're like, all right, this isn't about me anymore. Like this,
that might have shaped why I just write like sort of short jokes.
Yeah. Also, because when you start out here, you only get 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So
and you want to tell a lot of jokes.
And I want to get a lot of laughs too. So I'm not trying to tell you a story. I'm just trying to hit you with like.
Right. I was gonna ask, are you trying to just get those numbers in, or are you for 5 minutes, pulling a Tom Segura, just telling a story, and then at the last minute, the big punchline?
No, I mean the thing is, I'd like to get to a point where I can do like a lot of time in 30 minutes because I'd like to tell longer stories. But like when you got 5 minutes, you need to make them laugh as much as possible, and if you want to stand out, so. You have to, little joke.
I've like, being a comedian, like I've always wanted to do it, and like my biggest fear was or is like, what if a heckler's funnier than you? Like,
it happens, dude.
Like, how do you bounce back from that? Like,
sometimes you don't, man. Sometimes
legit.
Carlos Mencia.
Sometimes a wave just fucking takes you, man, and it holds you down.
Yeah, you bomb constantly.
Yeah, you bomb all the time. Like there's times like when you go up on stage and it's not even like you're funny. It's like you're anti-funny. It's like it's like you're like I don't even know what funny is.
I'm here to take away the funny from you.
Like that's my worst fear.
Yeah.
Just being up on that stage, and it's just like, damn, these motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude.
If it makes you feel better in Miami, it's mostly they're not even paying attention.
Yeah,
they literally don't even. That's the thing.
That's how you lose them.
You never had them.
That's how you lose them. Is that you never even had them.
You never even had them.
You go on stage, they'll give you like a little bit, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm not into this, and then they just start talking with like their friend or whatever, and then you're like, then you can make the mistake of being like, hey, ladies, come on.
And why is that a mistake?
Oh, because you didn't do anything funny. You're just like you're being the assistant principal instead of the funny person.
Hey, listen to me. I'm here.
The assistant principal giving the presentation was never funny. Right. But you and your friends being like, fucking look at this fucking idiot's pants. Like that was funny.
Shout out Mr. Gutierrez.
Right. Yeah, no, shout out to none of you. All right. I was given no guidance. I learned not one thing the whole time.
Actually, what is Diego? You had something?
No, I was
Okay. Well, where did you guys?
Nothing.
DMS was terrible, bro.
DMS through Reagan. All right,
DMS was
we'll
beautiful.
get into local Miami high school.
I learned
DMS was a rave. DMS was a 3-year rave. All right,
That's
DMS was.
Yeah, dude, it was kind of lit. Dude. It was kind of lit. Dude. You could just get into a fight, whatever you want.
There was a fight every day.
Oh, let's turn off the lights in the hallways.
It was like the Wild Wild West, baby.
Bro.
I loved it, dude. Those were the happiest times of my life.
We had food fights.
Legit.
We had food fights.
All right. But enough of the fucking local Miami,
local Miami middle school scene.
Yeah.
Where did you guys and how did you guys get started with comedy? Obviously, before you guys met each other, what drew you to comedy?
Chris,
I like always wanted to do stand up. I remember like as a kid wanting to do it, and then I sort of like forgot about that for a while, and.
that thing that I was obsessed with for like a little bit.
It was, dude. I'm telling you, I really like. It was I was super into comedy, and then I found video games. And then video games are like the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, he started like a fucking YouTube, like a remember like your little YouTube like stream.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be a YouTuber. Like that was like
a streamer.
Thing. Yeah,
yeah, it's like little. Like I remember he showed it. It's like little kid Chris, like, hey, hey guys.
It's not even little kid. It's like 15-year-old me.
Yeah, like young teen Chris, like, hey guys, Cascar here.
Yeah, dude, shout out Off the Ledge Gaming, dude.
There you go.
That was my fucking channel name.
But then how'd you do comedy?
So I went blind at 18, and I was just sitting around my house like listening to comedy podcasts and being like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And then I like started writing jokes and went to an open mic. And the first time I told the joke, I was like, boom, oh, this is it. Yeah. The first time I even stepped on stage, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah. Like got that laugh,
that adrenaline.
And that's it. And then
it's the laugh. Like telling the joke. It's the best feeling in the world for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I don't know. Like when I graduated high school, like I had no idea what the fuck I was gonna do with anything. And then like when we did that senior skit thing, remember the senior skit at the thing?
Yes.
We were like writing those jokes. Dude,
I thought you were talking about the wedding for a minute.
No. The senior skit, not the wedding. That was fucking awesome. That was one of the greatest nights of my life, dude.
I had a fucking blast.
I got trashed in a costume at a gay wedding and made a boatload of money with it.
Right.
That was also one of the first pillars of David and I's friendship, dude. Like it was like
I'm so glad I was there.
We had just met, but so like we did that senior skit thing, and I was like, oh, dude, writing joke, like, and I've listened to that. Dude, some of those fucking jokes that we did were fucking racy, dude. Like from a high school, dude.
I haven't.
Dude, there was a joke that I did.
Well, at senior breakfast.
Did
I play Madruga?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you did play Madruga, and you like stuck your belly out.
I did. Shout out Madruga.
Dude, there's a joke that I did what was that science teacher? The ditzy one. The old lady who was like
Dr. Brown?
No, old lady. She was white, and she was and then like
science.
And then kids would like overdose in her classroom.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay. So there was a kid who like overdosed in a science teacher's classroom.
Was Ronald Reagan in like Compton or something? Like what?
No.
Where was this?
You're speaking like
science teacher.
What?
There was a fucking science teacher who was an old lady, and she was like, "Hello, class." She couldn't speak. She was like so lack of confidence.
Perdida, yeah.
So so we did a joke on stage where like we're in a science teacher class, and everyone's like, "Oh," and then like they're like, "No," like because it was like I don't know. People were like the tension had built.
Okay, gotcha.
And then so the girl asked me on stage, right in front of fucking assistant principals and the whole fucking breakfast. It's a senior breakfast, like all the faculty and shit.
Rusty Pelican, shout out Rusty Pelican.
She's like, oh, can I borrow your notes? And then I was like, yeah, sure. And then I give it to her, and then a bunch of like powder and like pills fall out of the notebook.
Oh my god!
On the stage,
I remember that.
And then I was like, oh, that's my. And then the joke was, that's my night school notebook. And then I grabbed it and then run off the stage. So like I watched the recording. I was like, that was fucking crazy. That I wrote that joke. And then it was done in front of like the whole fucking school.
Right.
And it was cool. And fucking Mr. Campos was on my bus on the way. He was like, that was amazing. And in my brain, I was like, I just made a joke about children doing drugs in class at this place. And the faculty are telling me, good job.
Yeah.
The
merit.
And I was like, okay, I got to do something. I got to do this is what I want. So then that's when I decided I wanted to become like a writer, or like I wanted to write like, whatever, TV and movies. And then, I just kind of like, I've always been obsessed with stand-up comedy because I always watched like the Comedy Central Presents, like when we were like little kids and shit. I love that shit. I would watch it like all the time, basically. And then, I just met in Miami. I didn't know where the fuck, there was anything. And then I figured out the Speak thing.
Fridays, yeah.
So I tried it and I was like, I fuck with this. But then I tried doing Speak like a few more times. And again, it was like the political, fucking, the weird nepotism
shit. Yeah, you'll get on
at
3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, hey, when am I going on? Hey. So I was like, I don't fuck with this. So then I did it like 3 times. And then I didn't do it for a while, like almost a year, until I met David. And then he was like a friend of mine was like, hey, he does stand up and you do stand up. And Dave was like, where do you do stand-up? And I was like, well, a year ago I did it at... He's like, oh, you don't really do stand-up. Like, so he's like, yeah, there's a place, you know, on Wednesday if you want to go Wednesday. And then once I met him and I knew like where the shows were, I was like, oh, okay, full in, you know?
Full in
from there.
What are some of the recurring spots you know, that a working comic can go to prefer
Miami?
Still here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's break it down.
Well, you know, had we not been in a worldwide pandemic.
No. Let's say if you wanted to do it right now.
Right. If I'm today, I decide I'm gonna be a comic. I want to do a set.
What you would go to Red Bar on Monday.
Yeah.
And you would go early. Let's say the show starts at 9. You show up earlier than that. You
probably want to show up at 7 nowadays.
7, yeah, because there's so few shows. And there's so many comics that have been used to doing shows on the regular that the comics are showing up super early to like fill up the list because there's the 12 o'clock cutoff, you know? Oh. So we used to be able to go till late, but because of the 12 o'clock cutoff, they'll be like, nope, we're stopping. Even though there's a bunch of people on the list, they'll be like, no, we're stopping here.
So it's first come, first serve?
It's first come, first serve right now. It used to not be. It used to be like whatever, dude. But now it's very like short and strict.
And the first set you'll typically go for what, 5 minutes?
Like 4 or 5 minutes. You'll be doing the open mic, right? Which is basically karaoke. Anyone can sign up. You know, as long as you show up early and you're on the list, you'll go up. You know, so you just do an open mic, and if you impress the host or the producer of the show, wherever you're at, they'll be like, "Hey, do you want to come back next week?" And that's how you start.
Also. Yeah, probably not your first week. Well, they might talk to you and be
that
like,
happened to me. That happened to me when I did it, not at Speak, but when I did it at the cabaret show that David took me at. It was like open mic, and then I did the open mic, crushed. Like I did like pretty good, and then the host was like, "Oh my God, hey, like, do you want to do like a guest spot next week?" And then they put me like on the whatever Instagram flyer, you know, and I was like, "Holy shit, what the." Like
I'm a star.
Yeah, I was just like, hell yeah, dog. I'm already better than this fucking ass David dude. Like, and then next week I ate a dick, you know.
Oh, yeah. And talk to me.
That's how it happened.
Because like I got drunk, right? Okay. And then I had the first week I got drunk, and they had like a specialty drink, and I was doing like.
Oh, you needed that drink? You needed your twisted
teas, I was
bro?
doing the joke. I was like, oh man, what, this drink, blah 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 blah. Like it just came on the spot, right? And then the next week I tried to do the same like jokes about the drink, like as if it was like I had just come up with it, right? You know, like I was trying to do like rehearsed improv. You know, which is all comedy. It's kind of like rehearsed improv, but it was as bad. And I was like, yeah, this drink, blah 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 blah. People were like, huh? And I was like, and then I was like, okay, on to the next joke.
God,
like,
I'm so glad you ate a dick.
Yeah.
Talk to me about eating dicks.
You got it.
You know, bombing, eating a bag of dicks, whatever you may.
It's good.
I'm a dickaholic.
I'm a dickaholic. What, I guess, if you could give me out of 100 times that you go up on stage, and you know,
oh damn, me and Seth are about to get real competitive.
Yeah. out of 100 times that you go up on stage, you know, to try new material, try rehearsed material, whatever the case may be. Out of those 100 times, how many will involve a bag of dicks?
Damn, bro. How many? What were we talking about baseball earlier? 30% being fucking
Mr.
300.
Like if 30% is Mr. 300, you're batting what, 300?
Nah, we probably nowadays.
Nowadays is very rare.
It's more
awesome. Like because I know Miami. I know my jokes are pretty good. I know the crowds that I'm going up like like in the venues, because sometimes. It's like a new venue in a weird thing. They're used to a certain type of. I don't know. Sometimes you walk into a spot and you're like, "This is gonna be weird," you know. But
give me an example.
Like if you're performing like in a kava spot and you're seeing like you know, and it's like okay, and then people here like are sober or like not that they're sober. I've performed in kava spots and done well, but like. I don't know. Sometimes you're just like...
They're on that funny juice.
Yeah, they're like, this crowd's just not... I don't... Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't think this crowd's going to fuck with me, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to, you know, give it my best shot.
Right.
And sometimes I'm wrong, and sometimes I'm right. I was like, yeah, this crowd did not fuck with me.
We did a show at a kava spot where a guy straight up overdosed on kava in the middle of it.
You can OD on kava?
I guess so, bro.
I guess so.
You can do OD on anything if you try hard enough. If your mind's in the right place.
There you go. If you're determined.
My friend was on stage, and this guy fell off of his seat through a wall.
Through a wall?
Through a wall. Put a hole in a wall.
I don't know if that's just kava.
And well, he was fucked up. But I mean, like, isn't that shit like heroin? Like that's.
I think it mimics it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. It attaches itself to your like whatever receptor.
He like not at all.
You just become very like whatever about your life. You know, is that whatever juice?
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
It's just like it's
like a tea that comes from Asia that's like that's drugs, but it's not drugs.
Yeah,
you know?
It's mop water, and they sell it like drugs too.
Yeah, dude. It's like it tastes like.
When I drank it, I honestly thought I was like about to hallucinate after, and because the way they hype it up. Yeah, is intense.
And also, it's like they had this law. It was so annoying. They had this like law at the kava place that every like hour.
I know exactly what place you're talking about. They had to like be
like, oh, saki or whatever the fuck they would.
I know exactly.
They'd like ring a bell. And
they would ring a bell. Everyone would be like.
It had very like drink the Kool-Aid vibes.
But they wouldn't stop doing it for the comedy show.
Oh,
so you'd be
mid comedy show.
Yeah, so you'd be
mid act,
mid sentence, mid word. You'd be like
mid punchline.
Yeah. So then I took this girl home.
Sake.
And then like sake. And then they're like passing. Do you need?
I'm on stage.
You're like, I got a little bit left. You want me to top you up? And then you're like, guys. And then you like, I don't know. You either had to like be lucky and not go on when that happened, or that's it. That was the moment that just ended the fucking thing.
That's your set.
So it's supposed to be like for people who, you know,
are sober
or like, especially coming off heroin, especially it's supposed to be that. But then they still buy it like heroin. They go, hey, let me get a kilo of this. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, like, but that's how they sell it.
I used to sell it a little bit. I used to sell it at the smoke shop. It was like weird. I don't know, like it was like literally like I don't know. It looked like homeless people that were like buying it, but. I don't know. People love it.
I didn't feel shit. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I've had it a few times. It's just gross. I've never like had enough to like.
Right.
You're like they give you a cup and I'm like.
It is gross.
I'm like, yeah, that's fucking disgusting.
Oh, and they tell you it's gonna taste like ass.
Yeah, it's like no, thank you.
No. Then they're trying to be like.
You ever had
put some lemon in it? And
you ever had a beer? A beer's pretty good. Let's not fix what's not broken.
Guys, what were
but I got an eating a dick. Oh,
please do, please do.
I was at Jada Cole's, right? It was like the first time that they were having a show there. And dude, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. But I did some jokes. I love that bar. Like I go to that bar like myself. Like I like going to that bar. So I was like, oh, this is cool. There's gonna be a show here at my favorite bar, you know? Yeah. Like I'm gonna become like the guy here, you know?
The guy.
And because like once you become like a comic at a show like regularly, you get to know the fucking owner and you get to meet the bartenders, they hook you up. It's like great. So
it's like Cheers.
Yeah. So I do my thing. I eat like it's like there weren't many people.
Right.
It's a very small bar with a very low ceiling. There weren't many people and I eat a fucking huge bag of dicks. Like people were like, "Who let this man?"
Like, you bombed at your home, dude.
Yeah, and it's like, who let this person who clearly has never said anything funny grab that microphone? It was like crazy. And then I guess I had made like a cocaine joke about the bar, where I was just like, "Yeah, dude, you know how much of cocaine go through that bathroom?" I don't know, something like that, right? I don't know what it was, but I said something like that. So I finished. I'm like, "Fuck."
I'm sure it was. You know how much cocaine I've done in that bathroom,
yeah,
okay?
Probably.
He is fucking editorializing this.
Probably. It might have been. It might have been similar to that. It was around that. It was close to that. It was in the neighborhood of that.
I want to confirm it. Allegedly, it was that.
It might have been something in the area of that. So a guy comes up to me. A guy dressed like in a chef uniform or whatever. Right. I love bars with like whenever you see like chef's uniforms and waiters and shit, that's the bar. That's the place to be. So this dude in a chef's uniform is like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I've told management to never book you here again." And I was just like, "All right, dude, okay, like I get it. It was bad, but like."
And he was dead serious. He was dead serious.
I know the owner. The owner's my friend. I told the owner to never ever book you here ever again. He's like, what you said was so incredibly offensive and so fucked up to this establishment. They're trying to change their image here. He went off. He was like, they're trying to change their image. And you mentioned that they do that they have cocaine here.
So he just validated what you're saying.
He was just going off. Yeah, I was like, so I nailed it. So did I nail it or did I nail it? Because it sounds like I nailed it. He's like, they're trying to change their image. How could you even say something like that? Blah blah blah. And then he flipped the script on me. And then he was like, and you know what? I'm one of the people who sells cocaine here, and I don't even recognize you. And I was just like, Doc, I've come here like a few times.
You're not one of my regulars.
Yeah, dude, and I was just like, wait, but like I was like, this is so fucking confusing. Like, this is like, I don't know. But then the next month, because it was a monthly show, they booked me there again, and I did great. And then the dude fucking walked by me, and he was just like, hey man, great job. And he didn't even recognize me. He didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't even know who I was.
Exactly.
Yeah. He know it was like as if it was the first time we had met. Yeah, man.
That's Miami.
That's Miami, baby. That's
Miami.
the energy.
That's
man.
Miami.
I love it. It's frivolous, dude.
That's my
it's
city.
fleeting. It's the sand, baby. You don't build buildings on sand. Yeah, dude.
You don't build relationships on sand.
Yeah,
that's a damn
it's
fact.
quick. It's just like it's all very, you know, what's what's next? What's the happening spot? You know, it's all keep it moving.
Well, that's what I was saying about post-pandemic Miami, where crowds at shows have been better because people aren't doing that as much. They're not like, where are we going next?
Right.
They've chosen their spot for the night. They're like, this is where we're gonna risk our lives.
Right.
And they don't. No one gives a fuck about COVID.
No.
You know, like,
but they still don't really move around as much, and I feel like that's why.
Exactly, because it ends at midnight. So if you're going out, you're pretty much going out to one spot.
Well, how has this affected? I mean, obviously it's affected the audience, but how's this affected you guys from the comics standpoint or perspective? I know you were talking about how, you know, there were certain nights that you could go to 3 different spots and, you know,
that's done.
That's not happening.
It's done because there's not enough time.
And are they doing it with masks? How's that working?
No,
not on stage.
Not even in the audience. Dude, I'm telling you,
not even the audience.
He doesn't see it, dude. He can't see it. But like I'm telling you, it's wild. I'm wearing a mask. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be like the correct, responsible, you know, whatever citizen. I mean, my parents have been vaccinated, so like we're good now. But like I still try to like. Also, I just don't want to get sick because that means I'm going to not work on the bus for 2 weeks. And I'm trying to finish soon because we've been working on this for 2 fucking years. So I don't want any weekend I don't work on the bus is like add that to the fucking end of the list, you know? So, you know, like I'm responsible, but this is Miami. This is South Florida. You can go into a bar and there will be 0 people in that bar wearing a mask. Like that is just facts.
Does that, Chris, does that give you some sort of worry or concern?
No. I don't know, man.
It's just
I hang out outside. I don't hang out inside.
We hang out outside, and when it's time to do our thing, we go inside. We stick to people we know.
10 minutes inside. Exactly. I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I've never talked to anybody. You know, like I talk to Tarno in a parking lot with beers.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So we usually hang out amongst ourselves, and we try to keep it safe. But you know. But like, some places have decided to go full blown, you know, lockdown. Miami decided, you know, Florida, you know, whatever. DeSantis decided to just be like, hey, we'll see what happens. And 250,000 people moved to Florida, in that time. So as a governor, he must be like, yeah, I fucking did the right move because look how many people have moved. Look how many industries are moving. My state is now going to be winning when other states are going to be like losing. But that's not maybe the best mentality to have.
There's so many comics that I know of that are leaving LA because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, and then it's like it's hard to live in LA when you're making money. It's impossible to live in LA when you're not making money. So if you've lost your job at a bar, or if you lost this or that, yeah, dude, you have to move. You have to move. Which is great, dude. I've been telling him, because our first plan wasn't, our first scheme that we concocted was not the bus. You know, like me and David were talking about moving to New York, you know, or moving to LA.
And that's over.
Yeah, but thank God we hadn't. Thank God we were like, okay, we have this crazy idea of the bus that's never been done before. It's very interesting, and we can go everywhere. We decided, let's give that a go. And obviously, we're not going to be able to move out when we want to move out. But I think what we're going to do is going to be way cooler. And thank God we did that. Because if I had moved to New York or LA with some shitty fucking job at a bar or whatever, I'd be moving back right now. I'd be back right here, right now. Same place I started. Where now I'm nowhere near where I started with the bus.
That's
you know
a damn
what I mean?
fact.
So that was like a great blessing that had happened. I was like, fuck. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say that fucking COVID was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. That was like, you know.
Right.
But, you know. I don't know. It shook it up. It shook things up, and things are going to be different because of it.
The first like 8 months, just there was not a single stand-up show, and it was actually like, that sucks for the process. Like, you know, like I didn't even write any jokes because it's hard to like. What's the point of writing a joke if you're not going to go take it anywhere?
Yeah. Also, for a period of time, like, you know, like we didn't even go, like, your dad was sick, and we didn't even go to your house for like a little bit, you know. So it's like there was a little like 3 week or a month period.
Like 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah,
I think it was more than 2 weeks. It might have been 3 weeks, but like, you know, where it was literally like I was in my place, David was at his place, Chris was at his place, and we were just like.
When it first hit.
Yeah.
And then it was like my parents sort of were like, all right, they can hang out in the back.
Right, exactly. Obviously when it first happened, there was a bit of like
right.
seriousness,
isolation, yeah.
And then we started going to Chris's place, and then it's like I had lost my job, but I got all this time to work on the bus. So it was like, you know. And then I got unemployment, and unemployment was more than I made like at my job. So I got a fucking 4-month vacation, paid vacation, made more money. And got to work on my bus the whole time. So.
Talk to me logistics wise. The bus. What's the big plan? What's end goal? You know, are you guys traveling the nation? What's the game plan?
We're just gonna fucking drive around Miami, dude. That's it. We're just gonna circle the perimeter.
Yeah.
Shit.
Huh? Hell yeah.
Just shit, La Wawa.
Every Walmart in Miami.
Yeah.
That's the tour.
God,
man, we're gonna go everywhere, man. So basically, kind of like I was kind of like writing different like mission statements, like different like storylines or whatever. And you know, like you said, oftentimes Miami is considered the worst city in comedy. You know, this is where we grew up. This is where we grew up in comedy. This is what we do. We're Miami comedians. We're local Miami comedians. And we think it's time to not be local Miami comedians, you know, and be like real deal comedians.
Okay.
So we decided to build a school bus and travel the country. And because we know how to move through comedy scenes, I think that we can go to a town, find out where the open mics are, start hitting those open mics, and make a name for ourselves in every comedy scene in the country, you know? And I think that it'd be a good idea, you know, because those are the people that are going to like, you know, getting in front of the people, you know, like that's what's going to make you money, you know? So even moving to New York or LA, you're just hoping that you're going to get on the road and get in front of people.
More people are definitely going to see us this way, for sure.
More people are going to see us, even if they don't know who we are before they see us. So it's like, I don't have to, you know, obviously online and creating content, because we're going to vlog, we're going to make pranks, we're going to make little videos and skits. We're going to, you know, it's going to become a fucking content machine where we're just in the bus making content, making videos, doing podcasts, streaming, everything we can do in the bus to make content so that we're growing on the social media side. Right. But then also while doing shows, guerrilla shows, we can do shows in the woods. We can do shows in Walmart parking lots. We can do shows we can go to a local comedy scene, and we know it's like, all right, where's the open mic? Boom. Where are the other shows? Who are the people who do those shows? Let's show up. Let's bring our A game. Let's make these people laugh. And then people are like, wait, how many followers do you have? Hey, do you want to do a showcase? Blah, 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 blah. So we just want to like dominate, go around the country.
Dominate the world.
Dominate the world.
I love it. I love it.
No, just have a great time, man. Have a great time. Like, you got one life.
What's the goal? World domination.
Yeah. World domination. Have fun. That's what like they would always tell like kids like at a football game. Like, hey man, just get out there and have some fun.
For a second, I thought I was watching Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
for a quick second.
Yeah, dude, that's Brain and that's Pinky, dude.
Legit.
Hell yeah,
legit.
Is it hard finding a place to park a damn bus?
Yeah, it is a little hard, but there's a lot of places to park a bus. There's a lot of resources. We're gonna be towing our friend's car. So we're gonna have a vehicle, a car. So it's a bus and a car. So we'll be able to like park the bus. Like my goal is to like, well, one, I've never done this before. So like I'm learning everything as I go. Get to a town and try to find somewhere to park it for free. If not for free, then maybe we have to pay something, you know?
I heard you can stay overnight at Walmart parking lots.
Yeah, you could do like Walmart parking lots overnight. It's a very limited way of camping. You can't like, let's say like set up camp, you know what I mean? But like there's the Bureau of Land Management, there's national parks, there's national forests. Is the bus
legally considered an RV or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually like, so the state of when we bought the bus, like it was in Orlando, right?
Oh shit.
And that was actually a blessing because a lot of the like buses that we had been looking at were like Texas, Alabama. Like we were just looking at.
There's no Miami buses.
It was hard. Like you're just trying to like, I mean, to like fit certain criteria. Right. Also, things in Miami are like more expensive. So.
Okay. You just have to hit up Pinzon, yo.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out Pinzon, bro.
Yo, that's just like straight up local.
You know that's still going on, right?
Yeah, like, no, those people are kingpins.
That's
dude.
the bus plug. That's the bus plug.
Before the pandemic, I would see that motherfucker in my neighborhood all the time.
I've always loaded.
Doral school bus kingpins right there.
He got a monopoly.
But yeah, man, there's a lot of different places that you can park them. You just have to have like options and know what those options are. But there's lots of people living nomadically right now. There's lots of people living remotely, whether it's like vans or RVs, you know, because people are kind of like something like this could happen, and then you have no job and you're still paying rent or your mortgage, and people are kind of like changing the way they see things, you know. So like tiny houses and basically spend less money on your like living expenses,
right?
Spend more money on your investments
on life,
or like on life, you know. Even on your like, there's a guy that I know that I follow who is like a financial guru who like lives in a van, you know. But he's just like, yeah, dude, I live off this much and I invest this much, you know, and that's how he lives. And he's like, yeah, and I surf every day, you know.
Wow, that's a damn
he's
life.
Like, he's parked next to the beach.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments. You know what I'm talking about. And one of those is the movie review of the week.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about. And in this segment, I ask my guest or guests some sort of media, film, music, TV, whatever the case may be, something that inspires you, maybe before you go up on a set, something that you have been watching or listening to recently that has motivated you.
Legion of Skanks, dude.
Yeah, I think the Legion of Skanks podcast.
Legion of Skanks?
Yeah. That's our favorite podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're funny. They're the most offensive podcast. And
oh, yeah?
They're great. Yeah. But
who is it? Who is it?
Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Ogerson, and David Smith.
And out of 5 stars, what would you guys give it?
6.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah?
They're
it's that good?
It's the best. I mean, in terms of like, just like straight up fucked up ass comedy.
Hell yeah. Legion of Skanks.
But movie? I don't know. Movie that I watched recently. Oh, I watched Platoon recently.
Ooh.
It's a great movie.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
Yeah, it's great. Like, it's a movie from the past, so you just get to hear a lot of racial slurs. You know? That shit's old school. You don't hear that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's nostalgic. You hear motherfucker just call an Asian a gook, and you're like, whoa, dude,
that's not,
chill out.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
You know,
also, you could just watch Gran Torino, which came out 10 years ago or whatever, and it's still the same.
Oh,
thing.
Gran Torino with yes, who started that movie?
Clint Eastwood.
There you go.
I actually saw that movie. It was a great flick.
Yeah?
Great flick.
Gran Torino?
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
at the end when he fucking pulls out the fucking lighter and then he gets fucking lit up and shit, and then the cops are like, now we can stop the Asian gang.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I was like, what? They're a fucking gang. Just stop. Why did the old white guy have to die? Just like, God. They're clearly a gang. Let's fucking, I don't know.
Oh my God. And so wait, Legion of Skanks, 5 stars, and this Platoon, and this last one?
What's up?
Oh, I don't know. What?
No, the name of the last one. Gran Torino.
Oh.
There you go.
Gran Torino.
All 5 stars?
I don't know. I'll give Gran Torino 3, and I'll give Platoon 3.7.
There you go.
I'll give it 4. It's a cool one.
Yeah, there you go. What would you give it, Chris?
It's also, there's a lot of fucking stars in it that I didn't realize were in it. Like Johnny Depp is in it.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's in it. What's the dude with the black dude?
Oh, I know who. Yeah, from
The Last King of
Scotland.
Idris
Yeah.
Elba?
No.
Idris Elba doesn't have a fucked up bone in his body.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Shout out Idris Elba.
No, Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Right.
Forrest
Forrest Whitaker. There's a bunch of, like, you watch Platoon.
That would have eaten me up all night.
Yeah. You watch Platoon and you're like, what? Yo, if you made this movie, it would cost $10 billion right now because like all these dudes became stars. So it's actually kind of cool, you know?
I just want it to be known that when they look back at this and they're like, he just confused Wesley or whatever.
No, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba was fucking
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, you're gonna get canceled for that.
Is going to kill himself.
Hey, I am blind. All right.
Yeah, that's true. He is blind, Idris Elba. So
I also
forgive him.
don't watch movies. That's it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he listens to him.
It's true.
ASMR.
But
movies.
I also don't watch. I don't listen to movies.
Yeah, he doesn't really watch that many movies.
Right. What was I going to ask you? I wanted to know, I guess, what are some of the comics that you guys find as inspirations when you were first starting out?
Shit, dude, legit. Go ahead, you go first, Chris. Because like legit, and it's embarrassing, but legit, it was like when I was a kid, like who was on my iPod?
All right, yeah.
Like,
well, like that's a different.
I didn't even
question.
have an iPod. I had a Zune, but I said iPod because I wanted to be cool.
Oh,
But
Hey, Zooms were fucking cool though.
they were not, but you know, they had that little feature that you could share music for like 7 days or some shit.
I had the. All right, we could do that. We could do kid iPod versus right before you know.
Yeah, kid iPod versus who do I actually respect?
Yeah. Younger comic selection versus current comic selection.
Legit, it was Cat Williams, Dane Cook, Carlos Mencia. Yeah.
Well, Cat Williams got beat up by a minor. So
yeah, he did. Yeah. That is hilarious. He's the funniest comedian on the planet.
He's committed.
That was a bit.
It was a bit.
That was a bit.
He's committed.
And he is the funniest person I've ever met.
God, I commend him for that.
I could for sure, when I was in 5th grade, run around and recite most of Dane Cook's bits.
Yeah, Dane Cook, Carlos Mencia, and who did I say? Cat Williams. Those were the 3 comics that were like on my Zune that I like. And I had like Dave Chappelle, Kidding Them Softly also on my Zune, and I had Half Baked, which was Dave Chappelle's movie. But
I'm pretty sure Dane Cook's Vicious Circle was the first time I cried from laughing.
It was so fucking dope. And then also, I watched it with my parents. This was a
oh my God.
This was beautiful.
The one was like,
yeah, I watched it with my parents, and it was funny. They laughed. You know what I mean? My parents were kind of cool. They're funny. They laugh. And then it ended. Credits rolled. It was late. My parents went to bed. And then you start to see all the other little scenes of the fucking chicks like flashing them and shit. And I was like, what? This can happen, dude. But yeah, Dane Cook.
That Kool-Aid Man bit was like my go-to.
Oh my God.
It was like my go-to.
No, there's so many iconic. Like, he has so many lines that you can just fucking. Yeah, and that's like
I know that bit, the Kool-Aid bit.
Yeah,
that's the classic.
Yeah, and then the fucking Dane Cook Halo, like when the Halo videos with the Dane Cook stuff.
Oh my God!
And like you just be a little kid and you've been playing Halo all day. You're like, I need a little break from Halo. Let me watch some Dane Cook Halo just to kind of like cleanse the palate.
Bro, him playing the Predator from Alien vs Predator, fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was great, and
no, I mean he imitated. He didn't actually play them in the movie.
I mean,
he imitated Predator.
Yeah.
He like pulled his eyes back.
I knew of that, but like you made it seem like I was like, well,
he was the king. He was the king for like a good 6 or 7 years. He was like the top.
I mean, comedian. No, he went from comedian to like movie guy. You know,
leading man. To good luck, Chuck.
Super. But even people, there's people who are in movies that cannot sell out arenas, and he could sell out arenas.
You think he could sell one out today?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. Maybe he could sell out a pretty big venue. I don't know.
Like, what's his Twitter? Is that follower? Is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
And we'll get back to your current list right now, Chris. What would be the comedians that inspired you way back then?
I was like right before, like I was listening to a lot of like Greg Giraldo, and obviously like I was influenced a lot by podcasts. So I was listening to a lot of like Legion of Skanks and obviously Rogan and stuff. But
like when you were a kid.
No, when I was a kid, when I was like
when you first found that passion.
Let's say like when you were like 14, 15.
No, yeah, like right before it was like I was watching like Greg Giraldo stuff and things like that.
He was the shit.
Yeah, when I started doing comedies, like right before I started listening to a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Stanhope, obviously. Louis is my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, let me go with that. Actually, because like Louis was like all throughout high school, I was watching Louis. I watched like Louis the man, and that's a controversial opinion.
No, Louis is the fucking man.
Right.
He's the best.
Bill Burr, obviously, also like.
Now we're getting into like the ones that we respect today. You know.
Yeah.
But I was like 14, 15.
That's true. I'm a little older than
Louis
him.
and Bill Burr.
So what about your current list, both of you?
I mean, Patrice O'Neal, he's dead, but Patrice O'Neal's at the top of the list. Patrice O'Neal.
That's your GOAT? That's your GOAT?
Yeah. Like
Elephant in the Room is
Elephant in the Room is one of the best specials.
Top 5 special of all
time. Like, and live at the one that they kind of like
live
recorded
at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, live at the Comedy Store.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like a shitty YouTube video, but it's a whole set.
Yeah, it's a whole set.
It's a whole set that someone recorded, like all like shitty. Man, it's great.
Dave Attell. Like,
yeah.
Skanks for the Memory is also a 5 out of 5.
Louis, Bill Burr, Ali Wong. Ali Wong is fucking great, dude. Ali Wong's great. I watched her special.
She's the one that did that much.
I watched her special multiple. John Mulaney.
God, I love John
Mulaney. I saw him live at the Adrian Arts Center with David and some other friends.
Did we running? I think we ran into each other for that
Did you?
show.
Did you go there?
Yeah.
You went to that one.
I think we ran into each other.
One of the hardest kills, one of the hardest times I've ever laughed in my entire. He did Kid Gorgeous. He did that special.
Was it the one that he's talking about, the horse in the White House?
Yeah, the horse in the White House.
It was so fucking
the one
good.
where he was talking about Detective Bittenbinder.
My God.
Kid detective. That whole Kid Gorgeous is the special.
So good. It was at the Arch. Yeah, I remember.
But for real, my goats. Let me get back on track here. I fucking lost myself for a second. My goats are Patrice O'Neal, Joey Diaz, Bill Burr. Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle back in the day.
Ooh, because now he's too woke for you now.
Dave Chappelle.
It's not that he's too woke. It's just it happens to every single fucking comedian when they turn 50. You know, when they turn 50, they want to like
shout out Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that like every comedian when they turn 50 and they start seeing the fucking exit sign. You know, like they feel like they gotta leave the world with something of value instead of just some funny, man.
Some existential. Who's this guy? Get him to the Greek.
Russell
Brand. There you go.
He's good.
He's been getting all introspective. And all
the thing is like
jazz.
he's a fuck like the thing is right where he was at right. He was a fucking drug, sexy superstar actor, sexy rock and roll type guy. You know. For him to imagine you're steering that ship, right? And you're like, okay, I want to be a decent human being and like raise a family and not be fucking, on drugs all. Like he has to like channel that like crazy rock star, movie star, superstar level energy into like a different thing, Yeah. It's like the flood is still the same flood of energy,
right?
But now he's got to be like sober and he's got to be spiritual. And it's like, he probably always was a little spirit, but like now it's like, now I gotta figure it all out now because this is my thing used to be drugs and sex, but like that can't be the thing anymore,
right?
So, now
it's Soul Cycle,
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, like I think every comedian, like even Joe Rogan, like Dave Chappelle, Doug Stanhope has always been hilarious, and he's always made
Doug Stanhope is always great.
He's always great, but even him, like when they get older, it's like something happens where they got to make more points. They're like points for jokes ratio.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Stanhope always had points.
Doug Stanhope has always had points, and he was always great. So he kind of like.
There was someone that was like, the last Dave Chappelle special was more of a TED Talk.
I know.
That one was, but that was like an activist thing, like. That's not our place to be like fucking whack.
Right. Also, who the fuck am I?
Yeah. Right.
I'm not gonna tell. It's like
Dave Chappelle.
Floyd Mayweather. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of his boxing style.
Hey, you should work on that jab.
He's like, yeah, well, maybe I'm the best boxer in the last 100 years, so you can suck
I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about what you think about my style.
Right.
Like, how about you box the people I've boxed and then critique me?
Right.
So yeah, I have nothing. I hold all those people like those are in high regard for me, but. Yeah, something I like funny. I like silly. I like goofy. Yeah. I don't like points.
I
don't want someone to lecture me. I don't like applause because you said like, oh, that was a very good point.
Right.
Like it's like this isn't a lecture. But then some people like it. There's a market for that.
Some people can mix the two very well, like when he was, because obviously it was a whole message about Trump being in the White House, but it was fucking amazing.
Right. Yeah. The metaphor was good, and it was silly and it was goofy, and it was not the whole thing.
Right. Exactly.
He was like, all right, now I'm going to talk about something that's obviously happening, but the rest of his thing was just about his life, and it was about things that we all relate to, and it doesn't really divide it was just like great, you know?
Right. Chris, you mentioned briefly Louis C.K. and how basically he's the shit. What are your 2 cents on I want to word this correctly.
The situation. The situation he finds himself
The situation.
in. The Louis did nothing wrong.
The Louis, the Crystalias.
Whoa. We're not the same thing. Yeah, dude.
We're not the same thing.
People always want to put them all in the same headline.
They're not the same.
I agree. I've stated
people
my
put,
2
pictures
cents
of Louis C.K. next to pictures of Harvey Weinstein. I'm like,
right.
What's wrong with Hollywood? And you're like, wait,
relax. hold up. If we're playing Monopoly at 3 a.m, something's going on.
Dude, I'm flipping the fucking table, dude.
Chris, give me your 2 cents on that, and then we'll kind of get into the other, Crystalia and everybody
these
else.
are hot mics, dude.
You want like? I know we're gonna like alienate our fucking superiors before we even get to meet them.
I know, man. No, fucking. He asked permission most of the time, right? That's what they were all like. We said yes or we left.
We said yes, but we felt uncomfortable, so we felt like the overall thing is that we felt like we couldn't say no, and it's just like, yeah, but that's not his responsibility.
But Patrice said that. He's like, no, don't fucking say no. Like, don't fucking say yes because you think I'm gonna say no. That's not fucking. That's not how this works. Yeah, you know, like that's not like
but like the alternative. And this is the argument that I hear from girls. So I'm gonna say it in a very stupid voice. So the alternative is. Nah, I'm joking. I'm fucking around. Yeah, but they'll be like, yeah, but like. If a girl says no, they might be put in a position that like it could then turn violent.
Angry
and it's like,
violent.
And it's like, yeah, but that's not my fucking problem, dude.
Right.
I'm not violent.
Right.
Right. So you're assuming that I'm violent when I have not shown you that.
Right.
So you're not giving me the opportunity to be a good guy. Like, hey, can I jerk off in front of you? No. Oh, my bad. I misread the situation. Don't worry about it. Let's go back to the bar. Like,
right.
Right. You can give me that opportunity to be a good guy, but no. Okay. Yes. And it's like, oh, okay. Bueno, she said yes.
Right.
Okay. Well, but she said yes to me when I asked. So am I crazy?
Right.
Assuming that this was a decent situation, or do I always have to be thinking that I'm a part of this power struggle game? Like I'm a boss and I'm a man and I've backed her into her corner. It's like,
right.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was with a girl and look, Juan, what are you accusing me of?
I'm just.
It almost sounded like I was defending myself, dude. I was like, no, by the way, I've never fucking done anything creepy. So
shout out.
No, dude, one of them was on the phone, dude. What do you mean? You can't jerk off on the phone anymore?
Dog, if you can't jerk off on the phone, I owe an apology to a lot of people.
I owe classes.
Yo, Chris, let me let you know. I'm sorry.
It's like, was he holding the conversation still?
So I guess, why do you guys think that he's being tossed in with the Crystalias, the Brian Callens, etc.?
Because I don't know, there's blood in the water, and then he's another target. Like, and that energy, like that mob needs
people like linking things together.
Yeah, it makes it easy too. You don't have to think all that much. Like you just get to go. Yeah.
You remember how you felt about Louis C.K.? Well, here's another one. Well, it's like, well,
or it's just lazy, and it's just the mob doesn't have rationale,
right?
So also, I kind of believe he was like their darling, like the left and the progress. Like people
who Louis C.K.
Yeah. Before, like the New York Times would write an article like, "Oh, like how you should be doing offensive comment." Like he was always like their little fucking guy. He can say the N-word because he does it right, And you're like, okay, bueno, all right, buddy. And then that's something about that type, not just that type, but something about the mob. Once any mob on any side of the spectrum. Like once they find that there's a traitor amongst their midst, that's almost more dangerous than the threat itself, because that's a threat from within,
right?
It's like, well, I thought you were one of me, but it turns out that you're different, and I can't trust you, and it's like the whole society might fall apart, like that mob, so mobs then will turn on the people that they were like holding up even harder than whatever their enemy may be.
He's currently or was doing a tour, and he actually
he's fine.
He filmed it. He dropped it on his website.
That's the best way.
You can buy it there, $10 or whatever the case.
Great. One of the best things of 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that other people who have been accused, again, like Brian Callen, like Chris D'Elia, etc.
Callen's on Patreon, you know,
yeah, 200 people, like, you know, like, I don't know. But do you guys think that...
You had that number ready.
Yeah, if that's the truth, that's the truth.
I haven't looked at his Patreon yet.
No, but if that's the case...
No, I have.
But I'm a Callen fan. Yeah.
Okay, no, me too.
How much? Are you with Patreon?
No, I didn't even look.
No, I
didn't even look.
It's pretty evident the Fighter and the Kid has gone down in quality since he's left. But do you guys think that people like this can make a comeback?
Yeah, definitely. I think they definitely can. I think time heals all wounds.
I don't think not mainstream.
No,
like,
mainstream.
Like the guy from House of Cards. He's not coming back.
They're done.
No, him, because that was like, again, there's degrees of it, right? Like Louis can come back because he didn't do anything wrong. Right. That got carried out. Like, whatever.
But Louis, they're not going to admit that. Louis can't come back.
Right, but I'm saying mainstream. In terms of, Louis can't come back mainstream.
So he won't be on Netflix anytime soon.
No, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep touring. Fucking keep
doing the independent thing?
Yeah, do a podcast, Louis. Goddamn. Fuck, you know?
Yeah, I don't know why he's not.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think that they can come back, like, in terms of, like, they'll be able to tour, make money, put out specials, maybe like in a individual, or like in a, what's that? Independent, like in an independent manner, and they'll still be able to like make money and like you know, like live and be successful comedians. But in terms of like, is Chris D'Elia going to be on Comedy Central shows? No, he's not. Those days are done. You know.
What do you guys think about?
But that's why your mom's house and other people need to create production companies and make online content already.
That's
dude.
Facts, bro. YMH Studios.
Let's get the money together. What, we need money? Is money the only thing stopping us? Let's do it.
God damn.
Let's sell some Bitcoin or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, every single week we have two segments, and we already had the first one. The second one is actually the quest for the truth. Oh. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and, that's right, Chris. I'm gonna throw something at you.
Also, are we about to fucking uncover some shit, dude?
Well, the Zodiac Killer. We are actually about to read a random card from this here deck of cards, and I'm gonna ask the question to our lovely guests today.
I was like, if he pulls out a lie detector, I'm going to be like, no way, you haven't heard Legion of Skanks.
Yeah. They lie detector each other on the show.
All right, it's a pretty good one.
Okay. All right. Hit us with the card. What are we doing?
Would you rather have a rewind or a pause button on your life?
You know what? I don't know. I think I'm going to go with rewind because I could redo things that I fucked up rather than pause. Because I don't think I could control myself with pause. I think pause. Like, I know myself, and I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna, you know, it's like sometimes I don't like gambling. So I don't like going to casinos. You know, I'm not like that movie Clock Stoppers.
Yeah,
remember that? When you pause?
Yeah,
dude. You give a high school kid a fucking there's gonna be a lot of fucking sore buttholes.
Oh yeah,
the fucking next day, dude.
Oh God, Chris.
God, the problem with pause is I'm just gonna nap my entire eternity.
Right, yeah.
Like I'm gonna unpause and be 88. And it's like, what the fuck were you doing? I got a lot of sleep.
So how does that work? So like,
exactly.
Do you pause and you keep aging, or do you pause and you can move through the world like Clock Stoppers? Right.
That's what I kind of.
Well, in Clock Stoppers, if you stayed in the hyper speed, you aged because it like speeds up your molecules.
Oh shit!
Right. So like, you know, let's say if I only did it for a short amount of time, let's say like a few minutes, then like maybe I'd age like a few hours. Oh, but if I was in it for a few days or for a few months, then I'd
fall asleep for 8 hours.
I'd be aging years, you know? So you have to be careful with the pause one because it would like speed up your molecules. So you'd be moving really fast, but everything else would seem paused.
Bro, Adam Sandler's Click, that was way deeper than I envisioned.
Oh, yeah, that shit hit.
Bro, at the end.
The movie gets real sad.
The movie gets so real.
I've never cried at a comedic middle finger like fucking that one.
Yeah, that was because that one, he gives them the option for all of them. Pause.
Right, rewind, fast forward. And that's what fucks him up. But then
the fucked up part.
That bites him in the ass to fast forward.
Well, the fucked up part is that it was like learning. That it was like, oh, you want to fast forward through this, so let me fast forward you through all of those, like DVR. Oh, you like, you know, whatever duck hunting shows, then I'm gonna show you all these other hunting shows.
Right.
So it's like he fast forward through this one time he was sick, so the next time he got sick, he fast forwarded through the whole thing. It was like automatic. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, but I don't want to fast forward through every time I get sick. Just sometimes, you know what I mean? But you know.
So are you on Team Rewind?
I think Rewind. Also, because like I couldn't go very far with the fucking pause button. You know, I don't get the fucking like. Yeah. You know,
he needs someone else.
Also, like it's way more harmless if he's like looking at girls than me. Like I have to like touch them, and that's gross. You know, like that's
see, that's why I can't have a pause button.
Yeah, I'm not pausing. He gets to just look at them and be like, cool.
Yeah, but you're still sexually assaulting them, Chris. I know. You know what I mean? Like once you've pulled the fucking shirt down, that's it. You've crossed the line that you shouldn't have crossed.
Yeah, but you're gonna do some stupid shit with Rewind anyway.
What would you do with pause? Like
nothing.
Rob a bank or something? Or
me? How would I do that? So I still wouldn't know the layout.
With Rewind, I could actually make some money like legit, or I could just be like, hey man, put it all in Bitcoin like 12 years ago.
Or when we negotiate with sponsors, we're like 5,000. They're like, fuck no, go fuck yourself. Or Rewind. Yeah. We're like, all right, 2,000.
Yeah. Exactly, Rewind, I think you have more opportunity to like. Actually, you know, because like
change shit.
Yeah, I'm not a bank robber. I don't know how to fucking rob a bank. Even if I had if you could pause time and I had all the time in the world,
I wouldn't figure out how
to rob a bank.
I would only get the drawer cash, and that would still take me 4 days.
Yeah, dude, and I'm creepy, dude. But the very first thing my brain went to was like, yeah, that could look at girls' boobies. And then I was immediately like, no, dude, don't do that. That's wrong.
Diego.
I'll probably hit the pause button.
Oh yeah, and why is that?
Slow it down a little bit.
Just cause like. All right, like what I automatically thought of was growing up, I did a lot of graffiti, right? And like you hear those lights or you see them, pause.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I get to finish. Hold on, let me.
I'm gone.
Sign it.
Hold on. All right.
Fuck that.
Pause. Well, but you paused now.
You paused. You're good.
You got all the time in the world, baby. So
I'm gone, bro.
Right.
Oh my god.
I'm gone.
No, I'd pause and then I'd run in the cops' direction and then I don't know, like pull their pants down or something.
Yeah.
I put one of their dicks in the other dude's ass. You know? And then the cops like, whoa, what the fuck? They're like, dude, what do we tell our wives? And they're like, we must keep this secret until we fucking die, brother.
Pact of secrecy.
That's what they call it. That's actually what the thin blue line is all about.
Well, it's blue condoms. The thin blue line is condoms, so they don't get AIDS.
Yeah. Guys, before we start wrapping up, I kind of wanted to get your 2 cents on what you feel is going to be a life in comedy post-pandemic and how long that's going to take.
Any ideas, Chris? I don't know. Everything's very up in the air. Like even the professional people don't really know.
They don't.
No one's really touring. If they're touring, they're doing like
the drives.
They do like Florida,
driving.
Right? Like Florida, you know,
Florida, Texas. There's some like Philadelphia's got some shit.
Bert Kreischer was doing the drive-ins.
Oh yeah, he nailed it. I mean, because
you watched it. You went to it?
No. I did. I never went to it. I kept up with like online, but. It's like because he's used to a certain level of audience,
right?
So it's not like he was going. He's got bills, so he's used to a certain level of money.
Well, yeah, he just bought a house,
right? Exactly. But also, he's like a fucking business. He's like a
And you wouldn't. I'm not that you wouldn't expect it, but like
I get it. Dude. You know, that's all. He's a fucking. He's a killer. He's a
Bert rules. We do love Bert. Yeah.
Bert had one of the best specials this year too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Tom's was better.
No.
Nope.
Disagree.
Nope.
Disagree.
For real?
Usually they are. Usually.
You really for real?
Usually Toms were better than Bert's.
Right.
But this one in particular, I completely disagree. I think Bert he went into a new gear. I feel like Bert reached a new level of what he could do.
This one was Hey Big Boy.
I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, Hey Big Boy.
Hey Big Boy.
And I feel like Tom
better than Ball Hog?
Yeah.
And I feel like Tom, I don't know.
Was Dalia even in the running or not?
No. Dalia is one of the worst specials I've seen this year.
Dalia's this year? I liked it, but it's all right.
Third for sure.
I thought it would.
No, I wouldn't put it third.
I mean, between Bert's and Tom's?
Dude.
Oh, if I had to put it there, yes, I would put it there, but I wouldn't put it like.
Oh yeah.
He sounds so robotic and like.
I didn't like the voice that he kept doing a lot, But then again, who the fuck am I? I've never had a special. I'm not in his shoes, He's a pro. I'm not a pro.
But do you get?
That's my opinion on it.
But as an audience member, does it bother you if certain comics are kind of being repetitive? Some people say Kevin Hart is too repetitive.
It's repetitive, but like, dude, he sells out arenas, man. Right. Like, it's like for like the people that he hit a note, he hit something. It doesn't have to be my thing.
I personally find Kevin Hart hilarious.
Yeah, and he is hilarious.
He is hilarious.
I find him hilarious.
Right.
Like the fact that he does stand up is a plus.
Right.
But like
he's just funny overall.
Yeah. Like I like
anything he does is funny.
Yeah. Like
you think you lose funny if you get ripped like him?
That's what I tell myself to not work out.
Amen, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm staying fat for the comedy.
Yeah. No,
it's for the craft.
Actually, you know what? I'm getting fatter.
I did.
Bro, you're so brave.
I lost a little bit of weight, and I was like, I don't want to lose these jokes though. No. And then I was like, I have to write new segues.
Now, once we're on the bus,
jokes.
once we're living on the bus, I'm gonna get Chris ripped as fuck, dude. Me and Chris are gonna get ripped on the bus, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. We're just gonna be doing little blind workouts, you know.
You gotta find a different source of income. I suggest OnlyFans account.
Okay,
we might.
Oh, that could work.
If as long as we don't have to like touch each other, I'll be naked. I don't give a fuck.
Blind guy buttholes.
You automatically went naked. OnlyFans
is for everything.
It's for everything.
Right,
like little routines.
You see where my mind's at, though. I just really want to see Chris naked. You know?
Yeah.
But we can. I think there's a lot of opportunity.
Right.
And also, fuck it, dude, I have nothing better to do in this life.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, what are you gonna do? Fucking start a family, have purpose and meaning and shit.
No, fuck all that noise.
I want to have fun with my friends.
What are some amenities that are going to be on the bus that are working? And what's been some of the, I guess, like the biggest challenges working on the bus? Like something that you thought, oh, bro, I'm just going to fucking put this little tube over here.
Everything.
It ain't shit. And it ended up being a whole ass,
everything,
mission.
Literally everything, man. It's a lot. You see it online, and there's people who do really good videos. And the thing is, there's people who know what they're doing, but every single thing is harder than you think it is. Everything takes longer than you think it takes. It's like also for us, because like we fuck everything up. So it's like we have to do everything, we have to undo everything, and we have to redo. We do everything 3 times. Do it, undo it, redo it.
You guys are doing some fucking impressive ass shit. Like you're doing plumbing, you're doing a lot of things.
Plumbing is done. Plumbing is done, and it's perfect, and it's there's no leaks.
You guys have a toilet?
So the toilet, we're gonna get a composting toilet. So we just have to. We have a little room where the toilet's gonna go.
What's a composting toilet for the ignorant?
It's like a self-contained thing, right? So basically, you have a toilet, and it has 2 chambers. It separates the pee and the poo, and in the poo chamber, it's like a bucket, right? But it's like a very fancy toilet, right? It's a very expensive toilet too. It's like $900 for this.
Shit.
Like you can make one, but I don't want to fucking risk. I'm like,
we're not making a toilet.
I'm not making shit.
We're not making a toilet.
The only thing I'm making is shit, and I'm putting it in the toilet.
Bro, the way God intended.
So, but you put like dirt essentially. You put like peat moss in the poop chamber, right?
Okay.
So you pee in the pee chamber and you poop in the poop chamber. The thing that creates toxic waste is the combination between pee and poo, right? So as long as you keep those separate, you're good. So you pee in the pee chamber, poo in the poo chamber. Poo, there's a computer in the toilet that senses when the poo is in there. It turns on a fan that dehydrates the poo, right? So it shoots the air that's in the thing out the bus, right? Like it's a fan and a tube.
So you don't smell anything.
Right, you don't smell anything. And then also when it's dehydrated, you just like churn there's like a little handle on the side, and it like mixes the poo into the peat moss, and it's a specific type of dirt essentially. But everybody that we've talked to, everybody that we've seen online, the reviews, everybody swears by it. Everybody says like, get this one, and you'll be fine. Wow. And so basically, what I'm gonna do, the poop thing, you only have to like change out every, let's say, few weeks. So let's say every like month or so, you have to change it out. The pee one, you have to change it out whenever it gets full, right? So I'm gonna drill a hole in the pee chamber, and I'm gonna plumb it into our dirty water tank, because we have a water tank. We have 3 water tanks mounted underneath the bus. 2 of them are for clean water, and 1 of them is for dirty water. So the dirty water tank is plumbed through our sink. We have a pipe that's basically going to connect to a sink, and then we have another pipe that's going to connect to our shower. So the sink and the shower are going to go into the dirty water tank, but so is our pee. So pee, shower, and sink are all going to go into one dirty water tank, but it's not going to have poo in it, so it's not going to create toxic waste. you know?
Damn.
So, and then you just put a garbage bag and then you fucking throw it out. Or you can just dump it anywhere because it's safe. It's not like poo.
Biodegradable.
It's like fertilizer. You can literally, they say you can fertilize non-edible plants, but, you know, that's probably because it's got shit in it. So. But that's going to be our toilet. We're working on the shower right now. The plumbing, everything is in the shower. So right now we're just working on putting up the walls, putting the shower tray in, putting the tiles on, right? So that's project is in the mix, but we have plumbing. Our propane is done. Propane tanks mounted. Propane hoses all going to where they need to be. So all we need to do is buy.
Also no leaks?
No leaks also.
Oh, shit.
Fucking trial by fire, baby.
Trial by fire.
I lit a match. Like
For real?
Yeah, you can do that. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But first you test it with soap.
Yeah.
And then if it creates bubbles, then you're like, oh, I got a leak there. But I tested it with soap. And someone online was like, you should just light a lighter and see if it like you'll.
Right.
And I did that, and it was all fine. So propane, plumbing, the walls are all framed. The floors are done. The floors are insulated. We removed the back half of the windows. We insulated the walls. We covered them with sheet metal. That's all done. We built like the front wall. We've painted the roof with the silicone coating that like reflects sunlight, and then we tinted the window so it's actually very like comfortable inside. But we're gonna put ACs in it, like we're gonna put an AC unit in it. But right now I was able to get the front door to lock, so I put a piece of like that's why the thing broke. I put the piece of metal and then I put the lock in it yesterday, so the front door locks. So that's fucking good. But right now, basically, I was finishing the front door locking to start on the shower. And then while I work on the shower, David and his dad are working on our electrical, right? So we're starting the electrical, the solar panel. We have a plan on how to mount them. So we just have to get the materials. And, you know, this is you'd rather like make sure that the plan is
100%,
especially for shit like this. It's not you don't get a lot of chances at fucking up. The margin of error is very small, so
you don't want to break that shit down. And
we've been doing a lot of planning, but we're getting ready. We all know what the plans are for like mounting the solar, wiring the electrical in the bus. Because once the solar and the electrical is mounted, we just have to buy like our electrical appliances, which is like our solar charge controller, our inverter, our what are those called? Breaker boxes, right? We know all the components that we need to buy. We just have to get the wires. So wire it all into the spots that they're gonna go, and then mount them and connect it, and then we'll have power. Once we have power, all we gotta do then is cover up the walls,
right,
and build the furniture. Most of the furniture that we're gonna get is from IKEA.
Respect.
We're gonna go to IKEA, buy the furniture, set it up. Our kitchen is completely gonna be IKEA. Our closet is completely gonna be IKEA. David's bed has to be custom made. Chris's bed is essentially has to be custom because we're gonna put a bunk bed, and then my bed has to be custom made. But that's it, and the bus is done. So we're like I wanted to be done by April. It doesn't from what I know, it doesn't look like we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
I fucking really, really, really want to be done by June. Like I just. You know.
Guys, if you got a chance, please follow these beautiful gentlemen on their journey. You know what I'm saying, to across the country. You know, to perform in the biggest, most beautiful spots that this country has to offer.
Come into a city near you.
Scheme Supreme on everything.
Scheme Supreme on everything. Show them the shirt. That's beautiful right there. Shirts boom, boom.
TheSchemeSupreme.com.
Boom.
Help us out.
Cop that merch.
It actually helps us out a lot if you buy a shirt. Like it's really cool.
Cop that merch for real, for real. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, today we had an episode of Colossal Proportions. You know what I'm talking about? We had Sed and Chris, 2/3 of Scheme Supreme in his house. You know, we had it was truly a magnificent episode. Thank you guys for coming on by. Is there anything you guys want to, leave the people? Obviously, hit them with that follow. You see everything on the screen. Hit them with that follow. What do you guys have for the people before we ride out?
Go ahead, Chris.
One, thank you, man, for having us on.
No,
this
thank
is an
you.
amazing fucking place, dude.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I
really
do appreciate
you
that.
hit the nail right on the head, dude.
I appreciate that.
And everyone just keep on scheming, dude.
Keep on scheming. Scheme Supreme on Instagram. Fucking Scheme Supreme on TikTok,
yeah, bro.
YouTube, and theschemesupreme.com for all your fucking shirt needs.
All that good stuff.
Oh, and also Sed Comedy, also, please.
Sed Comedy. You see everything on the screen. It's all that good stuff.
Okay, right here. Then.
You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. It's all over your face. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you oh so very much. You know what it is. Every Thursday at midnight, you go on YouTube, you hit that follow. You go on Instagram, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You go on Deezer. You go on damn near, what's the other one called?
iHeartRadio.
I always forget that one. And it is, we're just waiting on the Jingle Ball tickets, you know?
Those shits were fun, dude. It's the only concert where you could see, I went to a Jingle Ball. The only place you could see The Fray and LMFAO back to back. Talk about different vibes.
God, that's beautiful.
One song about your friend killing themselves, and the next one about being, in the party rock nation. Yeah, shots.
And that's Jingle Ball for you. Diego, what do you got for the people?
Come get a haircut.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's a man of very few words.
That's such a great, for a Miami podcast, that's such a great, sidekick.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, right. Yeah. A barber?
The barber.
I should totally talk to this guy because, I used to just go to random people to do my hair, just different.
Yeah, dude.
Let him get you right. Let him get you right.
They fuck his ass up.
And I'd just be like, whatever you guys think.
Dude, sometimes they make him look like Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my God, Diego! Listen, he's a master. He's a master at his craft. Please let him take care
Chris,
of you.
Get his info.
Yeah.
And we'll come back.
Yeah. Please.
It's here, right?
It's right here.
It's right here. It's right here.
I'm literally always here.
He's literally always here. There's a PlayStation in his room, so you can imagine.
Yeah,
it's a home away from home.
Basically,
it's a beautiful place.
I spend more time here than I do at my house.
I get it, dude. If I had this place, I'd be here, dude.
Well, we can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Hell yeah. And we'll have the third piece, the missing piece.
Yeah, we can tell Scheme Supreme stories.
Scheme Supreme stories.
Yeah. We got some music festival stories, man.
Oh, I feel like there's gonna be drugs involved.
Nah, not at all.
No.
Allegedly.
Never in our stories.
Sorry.
Completely clean.
Yeah.
What is drugs?
What is drugs? Right?
I'm drugs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you every Thursday at midnight. Holla.
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit, it gets real with only one and ill. Get locked into midnight in Miami. The podcast.